in this moment, as the door to the veil has shut, silence. And you can finally see Tyneal, almost a hair of a movement as his shoulders kind of relax a little bit as he now slowly turns in the direction that the door once was. And he looks between all of you. So, it would appear we've got a couple targets in mind, and that perhaps moving with discretion would be the best opportunity. What do you all think? Is this even, and you see him kind of looking, pausing on each of you, pauses a little longer on Deodora. Is this even something you want to take up? It's a lot to ask.
I've already taken it up. Wouldn't be here otherwise.
He nods in your direction.
I think, like, she says that, but also, like, there's a look in her eyes that's kind of like, she's saying it and she means it, but, like, it's still making her miserable.
Oh, for sure. He looks at Rory, and he looks at Istani.
Did you have a question?
And just kind of rolls his eyes for a minute. Well, I guess that answers that. Eyes shift towards you, Istani. And you can see, well, he's still very strong. There is a multitude of memories and stories that lie behind those eyes and emotions. Tiredness, weariness, concern, and just a small flicker of hope as he looks at
you. He's looking at Ostani for confirmation in her role in this.
Mm-hmm. See if you want to. I'm going to say this is based off your passive insight. While he is used to giving people that are part of the Crown's Guard orders, you were not Crown's Guard. You were essentially civilians, experienced, but you are not ones that he wants to order around. And he is essentially asking for your assistance, but doesn't want to put that pressure on you either at the same time.
Ostani looks, I'm guessing the mentorship that the similarity between Deodora and the commander, and then obviously their friendship and relationship with Rory. There's something here. He like, and Ostani's like new, so there's this first hesitance, but they start counting around the room. Well, it seems if the king has to be surrounded, then we must be 1, 2, 3, 4 pillars against it. Yes. Yes, count me in. Nervously says that before deep breath and like a quick prayer to the lady.
And you see him almost move to your direction, but stops himself, kind of shifting back into like the mask of like has to be protocols and stuff like that. But you see him kind of just nod in your direction.
So let me ask you, Captain.
Sure.
As you understand, this is going to be quite a task. And I imagine that the circle of trust that you have is going to need to be significantly smaller.
Correct.
As a result of this operation, so. How prepared are you for that?
And you see him kind of look at ease, more so. of this is something he's been used to. He's part of a Novo family. He's been head of the Crown's Guard now for a long time. He doesn't trust many people, but the people those roots are tied to goes deep. You see him far more comfortable with this possibility. And he just kind of nods.
Seems that would be sufficiently so then. Well, I suppose we're off to a little adventure.
And if you'll have me, possibly new friendships.
Theodora looks reluctant, but not like in the way that you might think. It's not like a rejection of Astani per se, but just kind of like suddenly like something kind of shuts down behind her eyes, like just like it's like maybe you should see what we're getting into first.
I can do that.
So, as he looks, he kind of eyes you knowingly, Theodora, before kind of shifting.
I don't make eye contact.
You'd feel his gaze, I would say. Before kind of moving, I guess still in the mental mind meeting that we're all in, moving behind his desk and kind of sitting down to look at all of you. And you see him holding the file, the list, eyeing it. So, where will you all begin?
I look to my two companions. Hildegard?
Hildegard. But that said telepathically, so that we don't stumble
yeah.
into someone
Yeah.
outside who's
1000%.
overhearing that.
Oh no, I assumed we were still in that.
Still in the
space.
bubble, still in the mind room. Yep. 1000%.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. He nods. I imagine that with the fact that your communication to me before, Theodora, was seemingly almost intercepted. So our lines of communication are going to have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you all coming to the Ascidian Gate every time something happens is probably not the best of ideas. So, and you see him reach into a side drawer and then realizes this is still the Mind Palace. Hits the top of the drawer instead. I have several things that will be a direct line to me when perhaps sending in messages may not be the wisest of decisions. You'll be able to contact me once every 2 days using these. And you see an image, it looks almost like a silver kind of earring with a small stone on the side.
Is this kind of technology easily manipulated by magic?
No. And looking at the stone, you can see that it is what appears to be a diamond. Small. And in a diamond shape. And Theodora, I would say this is maybe the first time you see this, as he kind of pulls back his sleeves and you see a small little bracelet with a diamond on it as well. Looks very similar to a young gnome in Illipin who has an amethyst instead.
Mm-hmm.
This is interwoven with my family's magic. So, someone very powerful could. But since it's a direct link, and you see like these kind of silver golden... Hang on one second, the boy is crying. Sorry about that.
It's me, I'm the boy. I'm crying.
You see the kind of silver threads moving between the bracelet and these earrings. So that's why it takes so long for it to recharge. But you'll be able to contact me. No word limits, no minutes of, you're not going to... In today's world, you're not going to run out of phone minutes. But you can contact me once a day, every 2 days.
I think I have maybe a way to contact you if we're unable to use these. And I think I snap my fingers and then Sparky appears.
Popping out, you see a large, almost like direwolf size blink dog. Pops in and immediately sits.
Yeah. Scritching behind the ears. It's I think if we need to get something to you quickly, Sparky might be able to help.
I think that's smart. Well then, if there's anything I can do to assist from afar, I'll keep you appraised of any new information. I'll see if I can get any further threads of what might be going on at court, specifically with those other figures. And we'll go from there.
I send Sparky to catch Tiny's scent, just in case he's not always in this office, so that way Sparky can track his scent through the shift weave and find him.
You see for a second Tiny'll literally almost kind of mentally reminding himself that he's in a mental mind meeting, because all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, who's a good boy?" Just the mask fully dropped. "Oh, you're so beautiful. Theodora is taking such good care of you." Oh, and Sparky is losing his shit. He's doing little butt dances, because his tail is moving a mile a minute. Just is so happy. Easily gets his scent and just sits at attention before you may or may not dismiss him. It's up to you.
I don't.
He kind of nods in your direction as Sparky comes to heel and sits directly by you.
I think Sparky, as he's on his way back, gets a little sniff of Astani because he's horse person, the fuck?
You see that look of what is this? As he looks to you of huh?
Yeah.
How much would Sakali notice them?
Oh, Sakali is locked in. Sakali is
just out of the bag and just...
Head has been poked out of the bag the entire time. Honestly, it looked like you had a little stuffed animal in your bag, just kind of poking their little head out. And it's just watching this, because as soon as Sparky appears, the bag starts to move because Sakali's tail is wagging a mile a minute. And you keep hearing this little... almost trying to... Knows not to bark
so
because
real.
you've taught them not to bark, but also can't contain how happy they are.
Mm-hmm. That's this kid.
That's Prince. Put him outside. I'm okay, don't bark. And then as soon as bro, what did I just said don't bark. I just told you not to bark.
He'll be under his little sheets and not get out and still be "Ooh." I'm you're not threatening anybody from under there, but okay.
Who's kind of losing their shit a little bit. But, and you do see, I think at this moment, Sparky probably has caught this and is like just very curiously looking at the bag with Sokali poking their little head out. Sparky was that size at one point. So, I think Tyneal at that moment, kind of watching the adorableness, you see the shift coming back on of, all right, this is what we're gonna be doing. And he looks like he's about to snap his fingers, but he looks at you, Rory, and goes, can you dispel this for, like, how does that work? How does that
dispel
work?
what? Oh, I should let you know. As I understand that the rest of you are, let's just say, built a little bit differently than I am, you will probably experience physical needs shortly after the disconnect from this. I would suggest preparing yourselves accordingly, or at least just taking a moment to steady yourself before leaving the room. And then you're just back in the office. Like, there isn't like, it's like a hard movie cut where you were in the space filled with all of these different things and now you're just in the office.
And you see Tyneal kind of lurches forward because mentally he was sitting at the desk and now he's back on the couches. So it's almost like he's diving off the couches and he's like, whoa, okay, that's gonna take some getting used to. And he snaps his finger and the bubble slowly shrinks back down. And then goes to sit on his little desk because you see him just catching himself for a minute. That's a interesting trick.
It's useful.
I could see that.
Theodora's like used to it. She didn't like stagger or anything.
No.
It's just like kind of like braced or like
No, probably
kind
just
of,
like
settled
stretches
her
a little
weight.
bit.
Yeah, settled her weight like into like her legs to like stop herself from
Yeah.
like moving. It's like when you're on the like when you're on a bus or something, but you're not holding on to anything, just sort of like shifting your weight to make sure you don't fall over. That's Theodora.
Mostly because I
Yes,
feel
I
like
used to do that.
I
Same.
feel like the end of it just feels like waking up from like a particularly vivid dream.
Yes. Very easily. And you see him kind of just processing a lot of things that took mentally a bigger toll on him. Because you definitely see him looking very tired all of a sudden. He is older, so he is a bit older, for sure. As he looks between the both of you.
Well, for what it's worth, and if it helps, at some point, right, I'm not sure why this idea occurred to me, but Tyneal, if you would enjoy one, I will see about trying to make you a cheesecake at some point.
Oh boy.
Okay. I'm not very fond of sweets, but okay. It would be rude to say no, so sure. He looked like he just doesn't really know how to respond to that. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Theodore's
And also
like,
just like, huh?
It wouldn't be rude to say no. That's not rude.
Oh,
If it's not something that you want.
I'm not very.
I think it's a little bit more rude to accept something and then you know you're not going to eat it.
I mean, I know I have. It will be eaten. You see him kind of look at you of like that, but it's not necessarily what I would choose to eat out of the ordinary. But it will be eaten. I can guarantee that.
I think I might have a recipe for something that is a little bit more savory if you would prefer something along those lines.
That sounds better.
I'll just take you out for a drink at some point.
There we go. That's always handy. Perhaps when we sorted through this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing, Asani. on the subject of friendship, I would say those are things that typically take time. So, since we have some, let us take our time.
It does not take that much time for Theodora. At least it didn't used to. But now it's just like she's reluctant because she doesn't want people to get her and leave.
Yeah.
Asani's response is just this soft smile and just a nod to the side. Yes.
Wonderful. Apparently we are back. So thank you so much for your patience, y'all. Like I said, unfortunately we have no control over it. It just happens every so often. But we are gonna.
We're not. People understand tech things.
Yeah.
We don't need to apologize or explain things. Yeah.
Well, I mean, part of it is tech things, but it's just also the Ouroboros Society because they're a bunch of haters.
You were saying you were talking about friendship and speeding it along, and then Sin, I cut you off. I do apologize.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was saying, I do believe that all of you have physical needs, probably will need to eat things. So might I suggest a meal of some sort, a beverage, perhaps, both of those things?
Let's see. Sunset ceremonies will be handled by... yes, I can do that.
I could eat.
I will have to decline for tonight just because I still have some more work to do. But I think it would be good for the three of you to chat a bit more, get to know each other more before meeting with Hildegard.
Understood. Then I suppose maybe a bit of food, a little bit of thinking about which of these things we would like to do first, which I believe was meeting with Hildegard also.
Yes.
And then going from there.
Agreed. And he kind of stands up a little bit wobbly for a second. Or kind of steadying himself.
Speaking, but not telepathically. Well, this was a lovely and informative conversation, and now I suppose it is time for lunch.
Yes.
Well, technically, I suppose it would be closer to dinner.
I don't think it matters. You can drop the formalities next time.
Kind of looks in your direction, but doesn't say anything further. Just gives a nod. But
like, I'm not going to.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of like, okay.
All right. We'll let you know what we find out.
It'd be appreciated. And let me know if there are things that I can do to support. As he quickly kind of raises a finger up real quick, and you see him slowly move over to his desk to get the earrings that he had shown you all in the vision out from the desk. And you see these kind of 3 silver earrings that look like they will wrap perfectly around with a very small diamond.
I put mine on.
Did I equip myself with one of those? Hold on. I did. I'll also take one of those.
I'm checking to see if you have ears.
Yeah.
What an unusual oddity for this. Modified sending stone.
Something to that effect.
I'll add this to my notes for later. And puts the earring on.
And I'll give the last one to Astani.
Just mechanically, it's each of us has 1 call per 2 days.
Correct.
Okay. Sure.
basically a lifeline that you can use every 2 days. Yep,
So we have 3. So we have like 3 that we can use.
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. All right.
No problem.
Take a service now.
Well, then I suppose we shall be off to it as like Rory turns to like leave the room.
Yep. And you see kind of at the doorway his assistant who had been looking at you all just staring at nothing for like the last like 20-ish minutes, holding the tea.
I was about to make a comment about how we never got tea.
Yeah. Holding the tea, holding the requested like things, and then sees you all getting up and go, okay, all right then. Have a great rest of your day. Just,
Oh wait, what tea was this?
lavender, I
I
believe.
think
Jasmine or lavender, I can't
jasmine
remember.
green tea.
Astani, do you mind if I try this?
Oh, yes.
I just picked the tea up from the tray and drink it.
Ostani completely forgot they ordered tea.
And it tastes pretty yummy.
Lovely for this time of the year. I recommend brown sugar the next time you make one of these.
I'll be sure to make a note of that.
Very fitting for
You-
the season.
You might want to get the captain something to eat.
On it. She kind of nods gratefully in your direction, Deodora. I'll see you out really quickly, and I'll make sure that I get him some food. So,
And you said this person's a dwarf,
Yep.
a femme dwarf.
correct. Very severe
Okay.
looking, hair pulled back in a bun, but her eyes are somewhat kind. Roll a history check for me, please. Actually,
Oh boy. You just keep asking me to roll intelligence. No,
I'm sorry.
Fucking. Oh boy. It's not good.
Okay.
What did you
I'll
roll?
use
Hey, hold up.
inspiration.
Oh wait, hold on. What did
Mhm.
you roll? Tell me what you rolled.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's what I'm gonna do, right? What were you doing?
She was doing a history check.
Were you musing on the dwarf or what have you?
Yeah, I was looking at her, just sort of, I guess trying to like get her measure maybe, or like just because there's all this like intrigue and whatnot going on, and
So I just turned back and say, "Hi, Deodora. This is our. Oh, in case you forgot, this was the person that we refused tea from earlier. As I
Mhm.
use a portent to make that 7 a 17.
Heck yes.
Oh,
yes. I'm so happy you did it. Okay.
Thank you.
With that 17, you would know that this lovely little dwarf has been with Tyneal for a long time. She was an intern for him back in Allegris when you were in the barracks, and her name is Cora. She was not deemed fit enough to be part of the Crown's Guard, and she's from like a noble family, but it's one of the smaller branches. And Tyneal kind of took not pity on her, but saw potential in her. So instead of sending her home, possibly to shame, he decided to use her expertise to be his like receptionist and kind of like making sure that, hey, he remembers to eat, and like also goes over plans, gives the important missives too, that he can't write something because he is prone to migraines and stuff too. So she's been with him for a while.
Okay, so trustworthy then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's never
Thanks
been a problem, I would say.
Thanks for still looking after him after all this time.
And she kind of nods reassuringly at you. Thank you. Good luck.
Not every Crown's Guard needs to be a fighter.
You see she looks touched by that comment before nodding in your direction. If I can be of help, let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Cora.
Good luck, everyone. And she'll shut the door behind you, leading you in the rest of the Ascidian Gate. I'm assuming you all are gonna get the heck out of here and go get some food as well. Astani, you would know of a couple spots around. There's the Boar's Hat. There is as well. I'm pulling up my notes. There is the Barley and Wine. These are kind of all over. A lot of these are based in the grotto. Good food, good service, a little bit of privacy at each of those. And you won't be breaking the bank either. I think those would be the two that come to mind.
Well, what are we thinking? Heavy food, light drinks? Heavy drinks, light food.
I'll follow your lead. I don't know the city at all.
Oh. Out of the two, who would I bring people to? Like, who would...
Barley and Wine would be like, hey, you have family visiting for the day and you want to show them a nice place. Boar's Hat is more of like a dive bar.
I feel like Ostani would
Barley's
go
when
to
you wanna-
Barley and Wine.
Yeah, when you want to
because-
show out.
A little bit of
Yeah,
show out, but
they're,
also
like,
not
heading-
too much kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. They start walking into the direction of Barley and Wine, and they start turning to the other one, and you just see them like, no, come, all right, and then just finally to what was it,
Boar's Hat.
Boar's Hat. Yes, let's head to get some drinks.
Boar's Hat probably has better food anyway. Let's be real. It's a dive.
Yeah.
Best food. Best food.
Okay. You all exit out of the Ascidian Gate without issue. No one's really watching. Everyone seems to be very, very busy. Again, you see more kind of Crownsguard coming in and going as the shifts are changing. As you step outside, the sky is still very cloudy, but you can see through the clouds there are the colors of reds and yellows as it is approaching sunset. You were in that meeting for quite a bit of time. You can see that because you're not too far from the grotto, which is where the Boar's Hat is. A lot of people are starting to clear out their stands. People are starting to kind of shut down their work for the day. You see farmers heading back into the fields, etc. But this is when the town becomes alive even more so with nightlife. You can hear in the distance music playing, either from houses or from taverns that are all over the place. Some are a lot more rowdier than others, for sure. But after a few minutes of winding the streets, you find yourselves in front of, it looks like a small shack kind of shoved between two townhouses that has a sign on the door in the shape of a boar with a small little hat on his head, reading the Boar's Hat. And from what you can tell, there's light music. You don't hear a lot of noise coming out of it. Which is normal. It's still early early evening.
Great. Very nervously, but still straight through.
You
Finds like a place that is comfy enough for Astani.
sure.
And would they know like the regular here?
Yeah. And
yeah.
as you walk in, you see that this bar is much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Probably magicked in some way. It is a large bar. The bar takes up, in fact, one whole side of the room. And you see several bartenders kind of moving about. as well. The tables, there are kind of picnic tables kind of spread out all over the place, and then there are booths in the corner, all seemingly allowing for those that are of centaur and otherwise means. You see a couple minotaur moving around the bars too. A large hearth on the right as you're coming in that is currently ablazed, and you can see that there is what appears to be kind of slow roasted pork. That kind of scent hits the air over the flame as well. You can see there's like a cauldron on it, as well as some kind of soup is getting cooked. And you can kind of smell the sense of hearty meats, really good liquor, and some wines, not probably more of the very cheap stuff, very watered down. But they have a bunch of stuff. What would you say if Ostani had a regular type of meal at a place like this? What would it be? Because
I'm
to help you, the grotto essentially up until, the last few weeks has been able to get food from everywhere. So if there's seafood, if there's salad, I mean, there's stuff all over. There's no wrong answer.
I think it's more because there's things I would really want to try now.
Sure.
But anyway, they are particular to seafood and fish, and more of a temple district kind of diet, just what is like what they could get to eat there. So since they're out though, they will try a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So they'll get, I think, what was it that was the pork?
Roasted pork, which is on a skewer. You can see some soup. It looks like it's some kind of like either vegetable broth or some kind of chicken soup with also bits of pork in it.
Yeah. She starts ordering, and as soon as she starts to get to the third item, she's like, I completely forgot to eat breakfast, I realized. I just dashed here from my room. Well, that explains so much more of this little behavior. Please eat. Whatever I do not eat, I'm more of I share all my food, so if there's something you'd like, tell me.
What about y'all? What would you get? Kind of anything goes.
I would just pick a random thing from random things from the menu.
Okay. Why don't you roll a d20 for me then?
Okay. That is a 4.
Okay. And a d8.
This is an 8.
Okay. You see on the menu that comes on in, they call them little dragon wings. They are Jameson chicken wings with celery and with carrots as well. And it comes with a side of like garlic bread, as well as numerous dipping sauces as well. So you get the little dragon's wings for a potential meal.
I think Deodora's gonna have an oxtail stew with plantain on the side.
I like that. Yummy. And it doesn't take long.
It's
go on.
Nobody eat oxtails though. It will give you worms.
I heard it's true. Actual health hazard.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long. Your waitress, who is a minotaur, about 6'5", you can see every so often he kind of has to dip his head down from the kind of wooden beams that are exposed and kind of showing at the moment. So every now and then he has to dip his head. But after a few moments of getting your food and drink orders, he is holding the plates on these kind of like little tiers, I guess, that are attached to his horn, so he can hold multiple plates, both in each kind of hand, and then on his head as he kind of lowers his head for you to take the hot plates and stuff. So, very careful, but it's definitely a delicate dance as he's moving through the bar, so he doesn't hit anybody with these large horns. Enjoy. Yeah, and he'll
Thanks.
nod in your direction and then head back to the bar. And the food's delicious.
Yeah, I think Theodore is like. I feel like it's kind of like that feeling where it's like everybody has a common goal, but it's still a little awkward.
Yep.
So I think Theodora spends like a good portion of her time kind of like just in her fucking plate, in her bowl, just keeping her mouth full so she just have to attempt to make conversation. Which is how I am in real life.
Same. I mean, you've had a very stimulating couple of hours of a meeting, so...
Yeah.
I think after a long meeting and no breakfast, Osani's just like, oh, wow, look, oh, and just filling in the silences with a small little, like, opinions. Oh, this came out well cooked, that one is. Wow. Oh, let me get this for you. And then just, like, moving plates around and trying to make sure everything fits. And then just, like, takes a bite of something. I would like, and just continuously the silence is filled right now.
That's also
not with actual words.
Well, and I think too, maybe the silence is broken up with every now and then you're drinking, which each of you got, whether it was an ale or something else, as your drinks start to, and they're in these giant goblets, because most of them are kind of minotaur size, so they're pretty big. But you can see that there's almost from the wood side, it looks like each of these kind of beams that are helping to support the boar's head itself, looks like it's almost a tree, and there's a little kind of spigot, almost like you would have for like syrup, but instead it's whatever wine or drink, ale that you might be having pops out instead to refill your it's kind of endless beers or whatever you want.
It's really funny to have a giant goblet full of water, which is what Theodora primarily drinks.
And there is a small kind of bowl and some food that have been set aside for Sparky, who is sitting at your feet.
Oh yeah, he naturally he gets some.
Yeah, they're fine with animals at this place.
You know what? That does remind me. There is like a small gesture of the hand as a penguin appears on the dinner table.
Oh my god. Is he wearing a different outfit than this morning, do you think?
I think
It's
the bow
Corbin.
tie.
What kind of question is that?
I think the
To ask.
I think Corbin has picked a different type of penguin to be.
Okay, what was he before and what is he now?
King Penguin versus Emperor Penguin.
Yeah.
Just something that is a bit more coordinated with the bow tie that he has chosen to wear.
Gotcha. Love it.
My lord, the people would care to know what you would have this evening for sustenance.
And you see this little penguin on the table, Astadi. That's like literally the size fits in Rory's hand. And so wearing a little bow tie and quickly like hitting something against his side. It looks almost like a beret, and it pops out. It's a little top hat that he puts on his head and then takes it off. And he goes, "Finally, I'm being treated the way that I should be. I require the finest of wines. And do I eat meat? I would require a fish."
Would you? Oh, I was going to ask if you would like cheeses, but I suppose. And Any particular fish?
I mean, fish and
Lord.
cheese, why not?
Understood. I asked any of the attending bar staff,
Mm-hmm.
what fish do you happen to have?
We've got salmon, we've got mackerel, we got tuna. It's really it. Trout.
I think how are we feeling, my lord, about a tuna?
He just made
Salmon it is. So I asked for a salmon and paired with the salmon, a smoked cheese
Mm-hmm.
and like a cup of wine, because given Corbin's
Yes.
size, that's probably plenty.
Yep. I kind of nod in your direction before quickly disappearing. Coming out with eventually the salmon, which is kind of honey glazed, as well as some cheese over top. It looks like there are some carrots and potatoes that have been kind of steamed. As well as instead of a cup, it looks like they found a thimble instead in the back. That they've gone ahead and put the wine, and you see him look at everything, and then the little penguin taps the table, and a small, looks like almost stand, a little table for himself comes in, and he like rips his bow tie off for a minute to make a napkin, and then sits down and starts cutting up his food. Delightful. Who is this fine
Sadi
specimen?
raises their glass.
I am the
Jesus
only person.
Christ.
I'm the only person who can hear Corbin.
Yep.
Because that's how familiars
Yeah.
communicate.
But we could see his gestures,
Yes.
especially
Yeah.
the tipping his hat bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, I'm about to knock this penguin off the fucking table. Like, you ready to get the fuck
Mastani's
out
like
of here with that
raising
shit.
their glass to clink, like, oh, we're
Right. So
she's pretty.
Corbin, you are familiar with Deodora, and I would caution you against trying her patience this evening. Here you will also find our newest companion, Astani. Astani, this is my familiar and longtime friend, Corbin.
I think in your head for a minute, Blackstone, you just hear silence, and then just very, very quietly. And you do see that it's very slight. There is a red tinge, and he goes, I have found my queen. And he just nods with his little thimble in your direction, Astani, before taking a sip.
Across the communication, there will be no kingdoms in those lands for you to conquer at this or any other time, and I think we should both be quite clear on that. Thank you. Mind your manners.
I didn't say anything. I'm just paying a compliment.
Corbin would like me to relay that he not having seen a person such as yourself finds you quite beautiful.
thank you, Corbin.
Can't believe Corbin is the BBEG of this fucking season.
Corbin will get put in the corner this season.
It's a little bit of a dramatic. Oh man.
It's giving nice guy energy, and I don't like it.
Yep, I miss him as a mouse. I'm gonna be real. he was a little bit sassy, but a little chiller as a mouse. He's gotten a little overconfident as a penguin.
Is this a thing? And I'd
Yeah.
take a moment to have a telepathic dialogue with just Deodora. I just want you to know, I can make him a mouse at some point. Sometimes I leave the forms up to him, but if he does get unruly as a penguin, I can amend that.
Theodora just nods her head, and I think at the same moment, without her prompting it, Sparky lifts up, puts his head like on the table in front of Corbin, sniffing at him.
You see the look of fear in his eyes. An elephant
who
seal.
is
An elephant seal
you?
just appeared at the table very much.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta behave. And he immediately looks down and starts eating his food.
Just Sparky just sniffing heavily at this bird.
Okay.
This flightless bird. I want to remind you, Corbin, your ass can't fly, bro. So check yourself.
You just hear very quietly, Plaxa. And I think trying to extend, since you had just been talking to Deodora, I'll be good. I promise. Good food. And he just gets back to eating.
God, if only it was that easy in real life.
I know. Yeah. Just quiet music playing. Some people are still early in the evening.
I suppose we have a long day ahead of us, but this is nice. Besides, it is so enjoyable to try out the different things that you all eat. Dragon wings is what these things were called. I wonder why they call them that. And I just eat one.
Deodora looks at it and is like, I think it's because it's just chicken. They just gave it a cute name.
Well, hopefully
Yes,
they
I
gave
believe
it.
it's just good marketing.
Well, hopefully they gave it some quality that would be worthy of being a dragon. Otherwise, I imagine that some dragon somewhere will eventually take offense to this.
I assume it's the sauce.
I agree. A dragon is known for fire, so possibly spice.
Is this spicy?
It's got a slight
Spi-
kick to it. Not
it's
habanero
spicy to
sauce.
someone.
Yeah. I mean, it's maybe mainly a Jameson kind of sauce, so it's a little bit more of a savory versus spicy. Are you rolling to see if Rory has spice levels?
No,
Yeah.
I wanted to roll to see if I could try to figure out how this flavor is made and try to reproduce it in the future.
Oh.
Because I have that whole background thing of I want to learn how to cook things because it brings people together.
I would say, knowing you, I'm not going to make you roll for it. I think you can pick up the profile pretty quickly.
You not need food, but they're just looking down from the plate and the notes and just
No, I just make notes about. I'm just you see me eating the food and then making notes on it. Oh, do I need food? No, absolutely not. In fact, I don't need food or water or oxygen or sleep. All of those things.
I
A very
don't know what I would be without one of those things in balance. But you're taking notes.
tired.
Is there
Tired. You would be very tired.
Yes, I find that to be very true. Do they? You were talking about this before. Cheesecakes and desserts and possibly savory items. Do you cook?
There's a fleeting look at Deodora. One of my more apparently recently discovered interests. Something that is enjoyable, but outside of the parameters of what this particular body was built for. Also, food is just fun.
That's true.
It is, and they're saying that as they're taking one of the skewers out and kind of pointing in the air with the end, just it is.
Also,
I-
Asani, at some point, it might be useful for us to know a little bit more about what it is that you're capable of doing and how it works. But I have 4 more wings left and I was interrupting. Theodora, were you going to say a thing?
No. Why?
Honestly, I could talk more, but I'm curious about the both of you. Another skewer.
I mean, you're free to ask questions. I don't really know what to say otherwise.
But you can only ask questions if you're going to answer some. And I have many as I eat wing number 4.
Yep, skier number 3 is coming up, and they're just like, "Oh, great, 1 for 1. I can do that."
I imagine
I'm just
I'm sorry. I just imagine the two of them like at the same time, skewer in mouth, wing in mouth, and like you both like cartoon characters, like basically get the meat off of the bone / skewer at the same fucking time, just in one go.
I being from the Temple District, everyone is close quarters. There's always something happening because you're under the same roof. I don't really travel much, but from what I did travel, I enjoy many worldly things, and food is one of them. I am a fan of street stalls and, oh, a good fish fry. I am also an adept healer. That's not really what got me to the Temple District. It was more my connection with the lady. My abilities, however, took a long time to acquire, so there's some depth and spirituality that I could try and explain to you to the best of my ability, but most of it, I leave it to the lady, and that's okay with me. But you two seem to know each other very well, but not to be too frank. Are you? Do you adventure together, or another skewer?
Scratches at the back of her neck. It's like, yes and no. It's a little complicated.
Well, I guess let me see. How long has it been since? How long has it, DM, how long has it been since Illipin?
Since Illipin? That was at the start of fall. So I would say probably about 6 to 8 weeks ago. Because you're approaching the equinox, which is the middle of fall.
6 to 8 weeks ago.
Y'all have been busy, so like, yeah.
And how long has it been since we were in the Revenant place?
In the Revenant place, it's been
4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a month.
Okay.
Yeah, it took you a while to travel to Jorix. You just got here yesterday.
Well, then I would say, to summarize, we have been together for the last 8 weeks, and I have been here in my present state for approximately half that time.
Present state?
Yes, as opposed to the past one.
I'm sorry. One second. They're just holding back anything of like, how do I be considerate? Also, should I ask more questions? But Osani's face is clear of like, yes. Present.
So, well, I am by trade an inventor and a scientist, and my area of expertise happens to be the blending of, I suppose, both faith and science, and or um, the ener- the energy that comes from spirits and physical objects, things, and what have you. I come from a nation that is famed for doing such experimentations and innovating on those things. And well, the form that you see before you is one such invention.
Well, that makes sense of that sentence. Oh,
Now-
nice to meet you in this current state.
I suppose your meeting me here, much like everyone else is meeting me here, is a bit awkward. Technically, I suppose. This wasn't supposed to happen, but alas it has.
They're grabbing like the roasted pork at this point, and like as they're trying to like, what? It wasn't supposed to happen.
No, it wasn't. But alas, we are here. So I feel like these may be the kind of things that you might have been briefed on at the temple or during your time watching the veil and such, but the work of our more imminent enemy, shall we say, has dealt with people having their spirits taken. And, well, that has caused us to have to revisit some points in history. Most notably, this particular body was made to be inhabited by a being by the name of Blackstone, named, of course, after me. Who I suppose I would be a weird blend between possible parent or older brother, depending on how you see an inventor related to their inventions. However, they still reside here and they have gone on a quest for a particular kind of knowledge. Which, well, I imagine sooner rather than later they might emerge from.
Oh. Regarding what I know, none of that. No. We've heard of missing people, and I was assigned to this. Mostly told that the commander would have a group meeting, and well, there was some suspicious activity, but I haven't really heard much more detail to what you are telling me. Well, I guess that's why we are all here together in congregation. Are you going to finish that last one? I can trade you some of this for that.
Oh, I don't see why not. And just like slides their plate over.
Thank you. And just starts on the last wing.
Theodora.
I have missed these small things.
Theodora, as this is kind of happening, Sparky, who has been kind of slowly chewing away at the food at your feet, seems to kind of stop and look out the door.
Is the door open?
Yeah, it's one of those like just
Okay.
this bar is such a dive bar, it doesn't even have a door properly when it's open kind of thing. And you have a pretty good view of it because it's just off to the left, and you can see people are milling about as they're heading home, going to the bars and stuff. Night has kind of fallen at this point as the conversation's been carrying and stuff like that, and it's very low. Honestly, it sounds like percussion for a second. But you hear Sparky growl. Like very, very slight.
I'll lean down to him and say, "What is it?"
And you feel kind of a pressure in your mind as you two are still kind of building that bond together. But you get a word that comes through. Trouble.
Okay.
That's all.
I think Theodora will get up while like these two are having a conversation and just like go look to see if she can see anything outside.
Sure.
Like, doesn't want to alert anybody or alarm anyone.
Mm-hmm. And Sparky will
but
kind
just
of
wants
walk
to
with you,
know.
just to
Yeah.
kind of be with you. And you see as you near the door, he almost locks in on a scent, because immediately he just starts sniffing like a hound dog, sniffing the floor. And you see him kind of moving around the tavern, going all around the room first before starting to go out, looks back to see if you're going to follow.
I'm following the whole time.
And he heads out of the dive bar immediately to the right. And you can see that this bar is set in between two townhomes, but there is a small kind of alley. And about halfway down the alley, after like walking for maybe a minute, 30 seconds, stone ground, you can see what appears to be, I mean, this place is filthy. This is where also like supplies from the bar and otherwise kind of make their way in. You pick up on this, and it smells like blood.
Mm-hmm.
Dried blood, about halfway down the alley.
Okay. I cautiously move towards it.
Okay. And as you do, you can kind of feel Sparky's kind of agitation as you're going, getting more and more uncomfortable. And why don't you roll a perception check for me, please?
Oh boy, can I get advantage?
Yes, you have advantage because Sparky is there, so.
Oh my god. My rolls really reflect Theodora's mood right now. It's fucking wild. It's not good. I'm going to use inspiration.
Okay.
Because that is... Actually, you said perception?
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. 15.
Okay.
Forgot I have high perception.
Okay. As you're kind of moving down towards the blood, which is right by, like, looks like some large kind of boxes with some kind of cloth, maybe some shipment cloth over it. There also seems to be a kind of mirror that either was thrown out or otherwise that has been placed next to it. And it gives you a good view of the angle that it's at up above, where you can see that the sky is kind of cleared a little bit. Still clouds ever present. And as you pass the mirror, I think that locks your gaze for a second. Because it looks a little bit odd. And you blink, look back, it's you. But like for a flicker of a second, it looked like something was off, different.
Like something was... Like it wasn't me in the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Like something was watching.
Mm-hmm. Very slight. And you hear Sparky growl even louder as you hear movement kind of from all around you. And
Get Blackstone. Or get Rory. I said get Rory.
as he's about to take off, shadow starts to come out of the ground, forming several figures around you and even stepping in front of Sparky as well.
Who can blink?
Yep. But before he does, that is where we're going to end our episode for today.
Bitch. I knew you were
The
gonna do that,
court
bitch.
is now in session.